Behind me you see one of the new blocks of flats going up in Playa del Carmen. This is pretty common occurrence throughout the city. In 1995, the population here was around 10,000. Now, it's apparently around 300,000. These figures are according to Wikipedia and the Mexican State Population Council. And you can see, right by this estate agent's window, just exactly how the area is being promoted and the kind of prices you can see are being promoted here. This, by the way, is actually reasonably cheap. And here is a typical example of the kind of accommodation I mean, which obviously is inhabited by locals. And I don't know how long it will stay like this. Again, quite charming at the moment, but what a contrast with the new hotels and other constructions going up in this area.
Thunderstorm and rain in Playa del Carmen. We saw that dark cloud over the sea when we were swimming, and we decided to go home quickly. And we were right, because if we didn't, we'll be soaked.
Location at a later time. Note the tree growing out of the door frame. Zoom in, please. Not many countries incorporate trees in suburban roads. I wouldn't fancy driving home late on a foggy night here. So, how do we feel nearly 1 month after being here and leaving Britain? To be truthful, much healthier, less stress. We're sort of more in with a local way of life now, eating well, swimming, so we're getting the exercise, we're eating properly, and of course you don't have the external stresses that you seem to get in Britain just with traveling or having to pay bills. I mean, obviously here you do that as well, but it's kind of different. Yeah, we got a place from Airbnb. It had 96 really good reviews. Excellent. We've had 6 cockroaches so far. I've killed 4 of them, and one of them was dead when we arrived, and Inessa discovered one dead behind her clothes. Now, the host has been very good. She even gave us a big can of Raid. Free, as far as I know. So that comes with the actual rental. My aim's getting better. And it's entertaining. And Nessa likes it when I kill a roach.
I want to make a portrait of one.
Mexican cockroaches. They scare wives, and you'll find them all over the place. This one you will see in our shower. This one came out of that drain plug there when Nessa took the lid off. My traveling companion, Raid. You can get it in Mexico. Kills cockroaches dead. The flat comprised 1 bedroom with a small living room, kitchen area, 1 bedroom, and 1 bathroom. It was not a huge condo, as advertised. In fact, the owner mixed different shots from her flats, so you could easily mistake what you are getting for your money. You could see from the dirty rings on the cooker, state of the sink, black grit on the frying pan, grease on the bottom of the oven, dirt on the inside of the fridge, well-used and stained mattress, rusty bathroom fixtures, dirty bathroom fan, a large silverfish-type creature. Well, you can see that the accommodation falls short of a reasonably high or good standard. Yet, this is how it was advertised. Incidentally, it is common in many Mexican houses to put toilet paper in bins by the toilet and not to flush it, as they are not on a main sewage. We told the landlady Dor about the problems. We were referred to Airbnb. We sent them the photos depicting her lack of cleanliness. Airbnb said that Dor had received 97 good reviews and that our bad comments were her first. They suggested we arrange compensation with Doris. Doris offered us a refund, minus the days we stayed at full rate. But this was unacceptable, as her false description was not our fault. We contacted Airbnb. 4 days later, our client representative got back to us, saying he had been on leave. Why didn't he designate someone to act on his behalf? Anyway, not desiring protracted negotiations for a refund while paying again for accommodation, we decided to stay put and see the term out. At the end of our stay, we endured other problems with the landlady, and I wrote again to Airbnb to complain and request compensation. They never replied. Instead, I received an automated letter asking to rate their service, which I duly did. Again, I wrote to them and heard nothing. 1 month later, and I have still heard nothing. Airbnb, like new companies on the internet, sprang out of nothing to become a large corporation. If it continues to deal with its customers like this, its growth may start heading the other direction. In short, a 1 out of 10 to Airbnb for their ineptitude in handling our complaints and for such a poor service. As for the accommodation itself, we will give a 3 out of 10. It wasn't completely disastrous, but because of the bipolar behavior of the host, that is the most we can give it. And here you see what happens in the tropics with regard to ants and insects generally. You can see how organized ants are. They're forming a line, presumably finding some crumbs of food up there, which I will deal with in a minute. And they are going across this wall, and look at the size of that line, out through a hole by the windowsill. So there must be an ant nest somewhere around there.
Pretty impressive, isn't it? They're so organized, much better than people. And I'm sure they have some travel thoughts as well.
One thing I will tell you, you hear that noise in the background? Well, there's a bus or it's construction work generally. And there's a lot of construction work around here. Now, if you're prepared for it, that's fine. But when we booked this place through Airbnb, I was assured it was quiet. It's not. In fact, very few places in Playa del Carmen are quiet. It's like being on a building site. And as they used to say in England, well, nice when it's finished. But yes, in the meantime, you will have to put up with a lot of noise. If you are staying for 2 weeks or less, you will have a wide choice of accommodation, including all-inclusives. If you want to stay longer, like you were living away as normal, there are providers of long-term accommodation other than Airbnb. You could try HomeAway and VRBO. You can also try letting agents. Email a few and see what properties they have. Or you can turn up and stay for a few nights in a hotel and look around, seeing exactly what you get. We could have got one for moving into the next day had we taken that option. 1 month after living in Playa del Carmen, what is our conclusion? Well, our host and accommodation were poor, but this didn't ruin our stay. We think the location is great for holidays, and with plenty of all-inclusives, you can look for a good bargain. You will get a good standard of accommodation, food. There are plenty of restaurants around to eat. You'll have plenty to do. It does have a good infrastructure, and this includes an internet of 5 to 8 megabytes per second, which is suitable for most people's needs, and the people are quite friendly. But for longer periods, Playa is not for us. There is too much tourism here, which pushes up accommodation prices. And overall, we didn't think it was a place we could ever call home. It just didn't feel right. Anyway, join us on our next trip to Puerto Escondido. Bye for now.
La logra bajar y se lo come esa espuma, esa montaña de agua. A Oscarín hizo el drop y se lo come esa espuma gigante o esas avalanchas de agua aquí en Cicatela.